Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Toby and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Toby, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod. Kate, we are on a roll here with superstar after superstar after superstar coming on our pod. But what's been happening this week for you?
Well, you asked me a really interesting question just before we started here. What's my sport? Your sport is clearly basketball. Yep. And what else do you have an interest in sport-wise?
So I love athletics. I love swimming. I wouldn't say that I go to the athletics carnival or go watch an athlete run. But I do little aths with my kids on the Sunday.
Was at cross country this morning?
That was a disaster.
Yeah.
And actually my little Harper, she hasn't got one sporty, competitive bone in her body.
Yeah.
She likes her life just the way it is, Dad. Whereas Maddie gets a little bit of a taste. So first semester at school, she signed up for tennis.
Yeah.
And she came off the tennis court after the first week. I'm like, how'd you go? She's like, I hate it. I go, why? She goes, I need to feel like the adrenaline. I need to feel like I've done something. And she goes, doing this is like, it doesn't light me up. So, we're deeply into basketball. We're pretty one-dimensional. So we went to the footy the other night. Essendon played Hawthorn on Friday night at the G. And I worked at East Melbourne. We're on Jolimont Street in East Melbourne, a stone's throw, like a tennis. I reckon I can throw it from the roof into the G, a tennis ball.
Amazing building.
Yeah. And we had dinner just before the game. We walked across to the G and hung out. And my kids were commentating as if it was basketball. Like, Dad, there's too many players on the court. I'm like, we're in front of a field.
Oh, wow.
And then she's yelling and I'm like, that's not in the sport.
I must say, one of my daughters, very much when we said to her, what sport do you want to play when you grow up? And my husband always thought he'd have two sons. First one comes out and I'm like, what is it? He's like, it's a girl. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. He's like, I'll still coach footy. We'll have a second one. Comes out, what is it? It's a girl. And I'm like, do you think they'll play footy? He's like,
So
I'm
I wanted
sure.
a basketball team. And when Maddie was born, we had the ultrasound to find out what was coming before it actually arrived. And the doc says it's girls. Like, no, you have to retest. You need to retest. It's got to be a boy. It's got to be a boy. I'm having 7 boys because I need 2 reserves and I'll be a player coach. So we'll be a team of 8 and we're going to take on the NBA. Well, Maddie was born and we got pregnant with the second. I'm like, please, let it be a girl. So I went from a desired 7 boys on a basketball team to I'm just grateful I've got 2 girls. And I think our guest coming on this morning also has 3 girls.
3 girls that are unbelievable at sport. Well, certainly I'll let Justin talk about that.
Yep.
But really, really, well, particularly one that I know is spectacular at sport.
Yeah. So after this brief break from Purpose Productions, we're going to hear from Justin a lot more after the break. Guys, you've seen me put out content for years. It all started with James Shadrack from Purpose Productions. We've filmed over 800 vlogs, several hundred different pieces of content that has helped me take my business to the next level. We use Purpose Productions for all the content, pods, vlogs, and storytelling that we produce. Check out purposeproductions.co to learn how James and his amazing team can help you scale your business and get your message out there.
Welcome to the Hear Me Roar podcast. And Toby, we've got a guest here, Justin, or better known as Leppa. So thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Are you guys that close that you can just casually call him Leppa?
Let's call him Leppa.
Yeah.
Well, that's what everyone does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, not many people call me Justin. When they do it, it normally means I'm in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah.
Something's happened, and which Christy often, my wife does call me Justin a lot.
His wife is amazing. I adore Christy. You've got an amazing wife too, so you're blessed.
She's actually here today, working away.
Sim.
So
they actually both wear the pants. I've got to say that.
Oh yeah,
Christy and Sim both wear the
I
pants.
just want to
and tiny little powerhouses.
Yeah,
they're tiny.
I just want to let you
powerful.
in on a little secret. I don't know about you, Justin Lepper, but like I like that she does that.
Yes.
It's not that like she's more stronger or more dominant. I just am like, I'm weak for her. So I just like look up to her and like whatever she says goes. And that's worked out the last 23 years for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I've been married at the same time. So, yeah, I'm with you.
2007, 2000?
Yeah, when were we married? It was 2000 and, well, how long has it been now? That's 2003.
Okay.
We've been married.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So it's been
incredible story though. Come on, let's talk about the first date. Well, I've heard Christy's version of the first date and...
well, the first date depends where you start. Was she talking about where we met?
Yeah, where you met, and she had no idea that he played football.
Yeah.
And then later on...
Wait, you played football? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because my wife did work for Kate. So there we go. So she's probably told all the stories. She likes telling a story, yeah. But we did meet at a foam party in Cairns.
Cool.
My wife was backpacking through Cairns and I was on a football trip. So I got a backpacker and a footballer on a football trip. And we met in a party. Have you ever been to one of those?
Foam party, absolutely.
Yeah, where the foam's up to here and all that sort of thing.
I'm
and
missing
great.
out.
yeah.
I
think they're illegal now because, I don't know, the worry
Poisonous
or
or something?
safety or
Oh,
something.
yeah, no doubt.
All
Some
the-
stupid-
something safety-wise. In
All the
modern day
fun's
world.
gone.
Yeah, all the fun's
Red
gone in the
tape.
world. But I met her there, and this is before mobile phones as well. So I kind of left her, and like I might see you in Melbourne in a few months. So, which was the case, and then she went back to Canada for a few years, and 2 years later we thought, let's give it a crack, and came and met her in Brisbane. We were living in Brisbane at the time. I was playing at the Lions. And a year later, we're married. So there you go.
Amazing.
Okay, there's a few more funny parts to the
Okay.
story. So the bits that I really like is that one of her friends, so she's gone on the date, came back and walking along with one of her friends and she goes, is that your boyfriend on the billboard? And he's on like a billboard. Does he play football? Yeah. Anyway, so then she gets invited to the Brownlow and she ends up in the paper because she was running late after work, didn't have anything to wear, thought she might just wear like a regular summer dress type thing and didn't realise what the Brownlow was with the red carpet. So Christy is the most naturally beautiful girl that doesn't need to do anything. And she just rocked up in a summer frock and that was it.
Yeah, she does embellish that story a little bit. She did look
So
beautiful, but yeah, it was.
We can edit this part out for you.
She still remembers it, so she still talks about it. But yeah,
I love it.
So let's double click on football. Brisbane Lions.
yeah,
You played for them?
yeah. I did 3. Yes, we were able to have some success through that period. About the same time, I got married. 01, 02, 03. I was in a very successful team, and wasn't
Lee
like
Matthews coaching.
Lee Matthews was our coach, probably one of the greatest players of all time. Yeah. So yeah, we had a really successful group, and that's where a lot of your learnings come from in life. Obviously the losses make you learn, but I was very fortunate to have that team, and the success of that team has been able to carry me through to coaching and now heading into a new path in management and managing our roster and list, which is a very different pathway as well. So, but yeah, I always say that the team I played for has given me the credits to probably go to each phase of my life and
Brilliant.
and change and adapt and people want to be around winners. So it was just so I'm very fortunate to be part of that era.
Yeah,
And
amazing.
so you started in offence and then went to defence, and obviously your size, people aren't going to want to knock you down the
When
hurry.
you say size,
Well, you're bigger than all of us. So.
I remember my husband being an absolute Collingwood fan, and he couldn't believe that Christy was working with me. And he's like, "Oh, did you get to see Lepper? Did you see Lepper? Is he huge? Does he fit through the door?" Like, he just had this fantasy
That's
about
amazing.
you, just a man crush.
No,
It
I
was the
get it.
greatest.
I get it.
Yeah.
Just not for football, but I get it. You saw me going
Yeah,
gaga
I
when
did.
Josh was here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I saw that firsthand.
It's so funny. My daughter, who's the netballer you might have been talking about
Yes.
before, and in the off season we recruited a player called Harry Perriman, and he's dating one of the Australian netballs. But my daughter has been around famous footballers her whole life, and she's just like, yeah, whatever, on the phone and whatever. But when Jamie Lee Price walked in after the game, which is the partner of Harry, she was just like, like, I've got
netball.
Who is that?
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I've never seen her do that, gush over one footballer in her
That's
whole
amazing.
life. But there she is, and she's talking to Jamie. I see this little face, like she's just
That's
some little
amazing.
school kid. So
3 girls.
yeah,
What
3
are their
daughters. Yeah, Ava's my oldest.
Ava.
She's the academic.
And an
Love her.
artist.
Well, yeah.
Incredible. Whoa.
She's one of those kids, and she's probably too smart for her own good. She got a 98.1 ATAR.
Wait, how old is she?
She's nearly 21
Wow.
very soon, but she won the Art Award, the Science Award, got the Italian Award. She speaks Italian. And so she's one of those kids that's like, she sits in now going, she went to Queensland, tried science for a year of uni, didn't like that. And now's maybe musical engineering because she plays the piano, plays the guitar. So, yeah, she's the opposite of me.
Go,
A
Ava.
child
You couldn't
prodigy. Just amazing at anything she touches. And a little pocket rocket too.
Yeah, so non-sporting at all. I actually, there was a period of time when she was about 15 playing netball. I looked at my wife and said, "Is she got any of my blood at all in her?" Like, it's really like she's a bit uncoordinated at sport, but so naturally talented off the field. Whereas, and Kaya, my second eldest, who loves her netball and she's so committed, and she wants to be the best version
And
of
she's
herself.
tall
And she's
as
tall.
well, super tall.
But mind you, as you get older, when you think you're tall, and then there's always someone taller. So
Yeah,
it's the thing with sport, relying on height to get you through to the very end is really difficult because, it's particularly netball where you only have to touch them defensively for it to be a foul.
Sure.
It's hard to sort of go outside the rules in that sport. So she's having to adjust now and try different positions.
Does she have it? Like, is she capable of going all the way?
Absolutely. She's got
Yeah.
the commitment and the dedication, and she trains, hard, and she trains, in our backyard in her own gym, and it's crazy.
And they're all stunners. What?
No doubt.
Poor Justin.
Yeah, no, I'm doomed as well. Like,
You're doomed.
my daughter's got a boyfriend, and I'm like
How old are your girls?
13 and 10, so
Yeah.
I'm still a little way, but I'm starting to enter into the I've got a boyfriend
boyfriend,
stage. And he's actually a really good kid. And I want to hate him because he's my daughter's boyfriend, and I just got to like muscle up on him, but he's actually a really good kid.
Yeah,
So
I'm facing the same. Our 15-year-old's the youngest, Emily, and she's the only one with a boyfriend. And she's the first to have a steady boyfriend, and they're about 9 months. So, again, the oldest who never had boyfriends, so I didn't have to worry about it till
Sure.
now. But like you, Ethan was a friend of hers before they started dating. He's such a great kid. He's a Collingwood supporter. He loves coming to the games and all that sort of thing. But it's,
amazing.
She's the one that's played football. But unfortunately for her, she's had a lot of injuries. And
Yeah, because she was loving football.
yeah, she's
wasn't
missed
she?
almost 2 years. She's had a knee reconstruction at 15, so it's very tricky for
wow.
kids when that happens. So she's got a few things to overcome. But
You had that early in your career, didn't
did,
you? You
my
got
first year.
17, you
Yeah.
got drafted, and then sat out for...
so that's right. So I left home. I was drafted. I just turned 17. I had to leave to go to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Back then, there was no money in the sport.
$7,000, I heard, or
Yeah,
something like that
Yeah,
for the
7,000
contract.
my first year. I was
Yeah, I
building
remember.
it out.
I'm friendly with Paul Roos, and he was telling me like he also played for Fitzroy Lions, which
Yeah,
became Brisbane
that's right.
Lions, and he was saying early on in the game, there's no money here.
Not these days.
He was doing other jobs.
What's funny, Paul was my first year. Paul and a few other players were leading the charge in thinking about striking because of the pay in the early 90s, and I was like, "This is my first year, man. I want to play football," but not thinking that for the greater cause, things had to be done. It was sorted out, so it wasn't an issue, but it was discussed in my first year, the potential for players to strike.
Yeah, incredible.
But yeah, so it's that was interesting. My first year living away from home, I did my knee, missed a lot of footy. I think my generation, and probably the same as you guys, you didn't have as many options. Like nowadays, if you're living up there, even I remember my phone bill being $300 a month to make calls from interstate. I was only earning that amount of money, $7,000, but $300 a month was going to a phone bill to bring my mum back home, and as a kid. So there was a lot of things that, and I think flights were like $800 back then return.
Yeah.
And that's in that money. Or now certain things like phone calls and flights that are much cheaper now than what they were 30 years ago. So it was a difficult start to try and make your way. But
What about your brand sponsorship deals back there? So now you can pick up a few $1 million with some footwear.
And not
But back
every
then-
player, but I think those sort of things are almost the top 2 or 3% almost hog all of that, and the rest of people go wanting a little bit when it comes to sponsorship. You find.
Yeah, wow. And so Brisbane Lions was where you got started in the league?
Yes, and finished. I only played at the one club, and
yeah. But now you've made your way down to Collingwood.
That's right.
So you're a Melbourne boy?
I'm a Melbourne boy. I came back after all the football was done, and I did some coaching at Richmond, and then spent a big whack of time at Richmond. There was a 3-year gap in between where I was head coach of the Lions there, which was the quickest 3 years of my life. Wasn't the most successful 3 years, but coaching a young team and almost re-establishing a club a little bit. It was so short a period that it's hard to even think of good or bad moments. But I was able after to come back to Richmond and be a part of their successful era from 2017 to 2020. We were able to win.
Alex Rance was...
Yes, so he was one of my prodigies. But one thing I did after finished playing, it was almost like because I retired predominantly because of injury a little earlier than I expected. Only a couple of seasons, so it's not bad. But you're working out what to do next. But I went into coaching, and I really wanted to master some of the physical components of our game, body leverage, movement. We'd go to America and speak to MMA coaches and grappling coaches and football coaches and all different footwork and what they do, and bring back I guess the AFL's version of what that looked like. So, and I was able to teach some of those players at that time, and we had some good success. And when we came back, obviously that Richmond period, we were able to win 3 grand finals from that period as well. So, three as a player, now 3 as a coach. So it had a pretty successful period, and then COVID hit, and we won that last premiership at Richmond in COVID. And
you were locked down in the hub. Tell us about the hub.
Yeah, that was interesting.
With the whole family. So 3 kids plus his wife plus him locked into pretty much a hotel room.
In Queensland, right?
In Queensland,
yeah.
Well, the funniest part is, you look back and laugh because the Queenslanders make them stay in hotels for 4 months. It's like, once you're there 2 weeks, you don't have the it was bizarre. I mean, I find that whole period bizarre, to be honest.
There's some massive outroar at the moment as to what happened down here in Victoria during that period, which turns out was not science and data driven. It was just captain's call decisions.
Yeah,
which is just, it's ripped my heart out, man. Some of those people that couldn't cope during the period took their lives for no good reason.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to go down that path, but the bubble.
Yeah, it was.
Or the hub?
It was the hub. So it was a weird time of your life, and as I said, we were sort of locked in, restricted, and like I said, the rules were we could walk to a beach, but we couldn't sit down on the sand.
Right.
Come on, give me the logic of that. And it's, world gone mad sort of stuff. But so it was bizarre like that. And you wonder what the kids think too. I know the second eldest, Kaya, she was in a funk through that period. She wouldn't leave the hotel room. You could see her slowly get demotivated through it. The youngest was like, oh, this is like a holiday. I get to go down, get free food, come up to the hotel room. And, we were staying at a golf course, so you could at least walk around the golf course. And she was just having a bit of fun with it. She's probably too young to know any different. But, but you were living that, playing games every 5 days with no crowds. The funniest part of certain games is because the AFL people were actually at some of the games too, but they had clearance. So you'd be at the games on the ground, sort of, I don't remember the South Australian Premier, don't touch the football sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then you'd look up and the AFL people were all sort of socialising with the government, Queensland government, having a great time. So it was it was a weird, that sort of stuff was like, hang on a minute, it doesn't kind of compute in my brain. But anyway, we got through. We fortunately...
No, it does compute.
It does.
You were right.
Yeah.
Just that others thought otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still so dirty about it.
Yeah.
I remember going to an NBL game and the ball, I see it courtside, and the ball came out and I grabbed it and the ref's like, man, what did you do? Oh, and I had to go get a fresh ball from the back.
Wow.
It's like, don't touch the ball.
Like contaminated.
Yeah. I'm like,
wow, the plague.
Wow, yeah.
The funniest part, I've got so many stories about, we're in the hotel room and you can only order, coffees downstairs and all these teams are just waiting there. And the girl, obviously a Queensland girl that's serving us. And And I asked her, what did you do last night? She goes, I went night clubbing to here, to here, to here, to here, to here, and came in. So this girl that's probably had 5 hours sleep is pouring my coffee. She's been 1,000 different places that could come in and contaminate us. And I'm like, again, I'm just sitting there, I seriously need to go for a lie down. This is... I've got too much logic and common sense with this, and I was just sort of... My wife hates it. She just do it, will you? Like, just don't ask so many questions. But I'm like, I'm not that guy. I've got to ask questions and logic and understand life a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I got the other end of the story of how many hours you had to get up super early before the coffee cart even got there, because people were just queuing up because all you wanted was coffee in the morning, and there's one barista making coffee for everyone who's living there.
Wow.
So you could be waiting for hours for your first coffee.
Yeah, it was an interesting time, and well, maybe the truth will come out in the end.
It's coming out.
Tell us about the pub. So you went from footy, coaching, Premiership. So Premiership with Collingwood didn't win, then did win.
Yeah, so Richmond...
Well, hold on, I thought you won in Brisbane.
First. Yeah,
one in Tigers.
Brisbane, Richmond, and then I had a year off after the Richmond experience, the COVID experience. I gave it away for a year, and I was just like, I'm sort of done with it. The AFL also cut costs back of what you could spend in a football department by 33%. So the club was looking to make some cuts. I was probably one of the higher end wage guys. I'd done what I wanted to do there. I'd spent 4 years there. We'd won 3 flags. Richmond, three flags in the 4 years. And I was like, look, we've got some young coaches up and coming. I'm probably the perfect guy to make way for this next breed through anyway. So I did that, had a year off, and I did some media, worked at Channel 7, and I started the property development that I wanted to do. And thankfully I hit just before all the price increases at the end of 2021. And I built the 6 townhouses, which was, I always like to do a side project. One thing after I got, sacked from the Lions as a head coach, I was like, just don't put all your eggs in one basket. I just sort of, for the final time in your life, you've done it as a player, you've done it as a coach, you've got to have other things to enjoy and do and take your mind. And I was going to do an MBA, or I was going to do a property development, and I was sort of sitting there going, which way do I go? And I ended up saying, well, you know what, I'm the sort of guy that's a learn on the job, put your money where your mouth is sort of guy. So I did that and went through went and bought a site and knocked it down, built 6 townhouses, and learned so much through that process.
Built to rent or built to flip?
Built to flip. I actually sold. I kept a couple, and I've just flipped the last couple now. So it's officially off now, But it was a great process to learn, and had some great support on the way through. But understanding banks, builders, like all I learned is that you can't talk to a builder the same way you talk to a football player, or they work on completely different ways of understanding.
I can't talk to the bank like I talk to my team as an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
they're like, well, they don't understand me.
Yeah.
Or maybe
have you done any building?
We've done construction, not from ground up.
Yeah.
But I've done 12 buildings.
I don't know what you found, but I found it like the way they listen is, instead of saying, look, I'll support you through it, I'll do this, I'll put this on, it's like, dickhead, do it or you won't get paid. Yeah. Like, it's literally the only language I've found. And look, maybe that's not all builders, but it's almost their language of, and that's the way it operates, and which is completely foreign to me of investing in the person and helping them and supporting them.
Totally.
Yeah.
I found it so different.
I'm very lucky. Well, very lucky in as much as I've got great talent on the team.
Yeah.
So I have a great PM in Alex Strickland, former military guy. So when he showed up to take on my role as head project manager for Cubes, I was like, mate, you better change your shoes into red runners because we're going to go fast.
Yeah, right.
And he put me right in my spot. He's like, mate, I used to jump out of Black Hawk helicopters, carrying bags heavier than you, wearing boots twice as thick as this. I'll be right, mate. I was like, okay. So he runs that whole project team. So I get into the weeds of it and get into the nitty gritty, but for the most part, Alex runs that department.
Yeah.
And so I stay away from it, intentionally stay away from it. But I understand it's tough business.
Yeah. I actually chose to get a bit into the weeds. I had days where I was cleaning the site with my own hands because I felt the builder wasn't safe enough for other people to come in, and he wasn't doing much about it. So I took my own hands to to order skips or do most stuff to make sure it was safe and things like that. But just to try and learn it from the ground up, it knocked me about a bit because it wasn't easy. And, you got the bank talking to you at one end, you've got to do this and this. And so there was a lot going on in council. At the very end, the council said to me, you've actually built over the site. And I said, excuse me? And anyway, lucky I kept very good records, but because obviously in the approval process, it tells you where the boundaries are.
Sure.
And obviously, thankfully too, in most councils, once you're in council, you never leave there. So the same lady from the approval 3 years earlier was still there, thankfully. And I brought a joint email basically saying, what's this guy talking about? And the very next day it was approved.
Yeah.
So like all those little things and working in, what are council's angles, what are builders' angles, and what does everyone need? And the obviously the purchasers and what they want, which you can only keep them happy to probably 90%, I found too, because there's always something to complain about.
Sure.
So yeah, that was awesome. But then, sorry, getting back to the pub, which was the original question.
And then you went from property development, then we're up to the Collingwood part.
Yes, and then obviously had the year off, and then my great mate Craig McRae, through this period, got the job at head coach at Collingwood, and he wanted me to come back out of, I guess, coaching retirement to help him start that off, which I did, and were able to, got as far as the preliminary final the first year and won the grand final the second year. And then the third year last year we finished 9th, but we're top of the ladder now. But in the changeover last year, I've shifted roles into the list management and I guess player roster, everything that entails that, from managing the money to who do we have on our list, who do we keep on our list, what else is out there.
Do you travel with the team?
No, I'm completely separate now, which is different. So it's the first time ever I've watched one of my teams from the grandstand about 2 weeks ago, and I actually watched the Thursday night game on my lounge. Yeah. My first time I've ever done that. So it's
the man cave. It's a giant man cave.
I was actually down. I was actually down at the pub at Port Welshpool. Ironically, I was watching it from a little house down there, so it was very different. It was fun. It was cool just to watch it. I had a wine in my hand watching my team play. I went, this is very odd.
That's good.
But it was good. It's a change of life for me. But I like that. I get bored quick. My wife will tell you that. I get bored real quick. So to keep sort of moving and evolving, it's sort of the way I operate.
So Brisbane, Tigers, Collingwood.
Yeah.
Who's your footy team?
Yeah, that's a good question. My wife would say whoever's paying the bills, so that's Collingwood at this point in time.
Okay.
It is funny, you stop supporting. I mean, my original team was St Kilda as a kid, but you sort of stop. Once you're in something, it's sort of like you don't really support the team. You're supporting the team that you work for. So.
Yep.
A lot of Premiership reunions, I'm just thinking, like lots of Premiership.
There was. It's funny, after Collingwood, we had the next day we had all the fans in at the ground, but it was the same day as our 20-year reunion at Brisbane. So like we had to go from one sort of celebration to the one from 20 years earlier in the one day. So it's a good problem to have, Kate.
Yeah, it's nice. Yep.
Good on you, man. I know nothing about this, but I am like so subscribed to you. I think your success is directly correlated to like who you are as a person. And I know nothing about the football game, but I don't think by chance you won championship. I don't think you did that 3 times by chance, in 3 different clubs, should I say, by chance. You've got something about you that is oozing discipline, focus. I heard you talk about your kids. I heard you talk about keeping records on properties, like all this stuff. The diligence that you clearly apply yourself is probably why you are where you are. And I'm just grateful that we got, Justin to come on the pod just to spend 30 minutes. But I think I'll start following you around on with your teams and making sure that,
you can pour some beers with him.
Yeah,
at the pub.
You pour some beers in my pub.
I'll bring the girls down. They're a bit young, but we'll come down and hang out. We're gonna cut to our next break, but I've got so much going on in my brain.
So good.
I'm so thankful you came in, and hopefully we can have you come back at a later stage.
All right.
Quick word from our sponsors at Luna. Luna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, Luna.co is where you need to be starting off. Guys, welcome back to the pod. Kate, thank you.
My pleasure.
He's amazing.
Yeah. And Leppa's family, the bit that I didn't talk about, the funniest part, you go to their house, there's little dogs running around, there's chickens out the back, and then there's this lizard, I think frillneck lizard. I can't even remember what type of lizard. Just runs around, dogs play with the lizard and chickens out the back. It's just my kids, his daughters were babysitting them and they just loved going there.
Wow.
It was just the house of fun. So talk about culture in the workplace, in a team, the culture of that house, amazing. Yeah.
Well, no doubt. Like I heard him talk about his kids, which like I got goosebumps just replaying it in my head. But like his ability to play on the field, win, his ability as a coach to win, to then leave the club, go to Richmond, win, leave Richmond, come to Collingwood, win, built a property business, sold all that property off, I assume won, don't need to know the true balance sheet numbers, but feels like a win, has 3 amazing kids that seem to be kind of on their own path and winning. Has a beautiful wife that you speak so highly of, who is a ray of sunshine.
And now, not just the man cave, the pub. I feel like that's on the wish list. Like my husband would like who wouldn't want a pub, you know?
What a legend.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that you had the relationship to enable Justin to come on the pod today. And I hope the listeners out there have really enjoyed this segment. I know I did, and I'll definitely be following Justin maybe on LinkedIn or off on something just to, I need some of that like success.
Yeah,
I need to rub shoulders with the guy a little bit more.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so humble.
That was probably the most impressive thing. But guys, I hope you enjoyed that pod. All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.